Welcome to Get Biz, Do Biz, Get Pay. I am your host, Luan the Don. We're gonna find out what it really takes to win in the construction industry. What it really takes to make a lot of money, have a great life, and be able to do the thing that you wanted to do. Enjoy. Welcome to another episode of Get Biz, Do Biz, Get Paid, where I bring on guests or talk about some simple business strategy that can help you uh, grow your business in an easy way, simple way, make more money faster in your construction business. So today I have a very special guest. His name is well revered around the community. He's is a special friend of mine, a brother, a coach, a role model, generally a great guy to be around, and I feel like he hasn't got the credit that he deserves, so that's why I bring him back for the third time to talk about a lot of things. And most important thing is to bring the most value to you in how to compete in this cycle of the market where all you hear is the market, is this, is that, and I want to bring him on here to give you some actionable strategy that you can take home with. Welcome to the show, Clifton Muckenfuss.
My man, Lawan. It's so good to be with you here today. And like you said, for the third time, every time we jump on one of these episodes, we riff on something and we bring massive value to your audience. And so I fully expect this conversation, this moment, this visit today to be the exact same. So thanks for having me on, man.
Hey man, it's always my pleasure. Always great to have a conversation with you. But we've been with each other for a while. I think three, maybe going on year four now. You and I have had a journey of growth on our own, and you and I have to go to some, I wouldn't say dramatic experience, but obviously life-changing situation. And and I want to start off by asking you, how does uh, how does faith go carry you to that through all that hardship, all that growth, suffering, or whatever you want to call it, or that season of your life to get you to where you are here today?
Very deep topic. We can take this conversation, one of several ways. The truth is, I haven't always been this deeply faithful, spiritual, connected person that you know me as, and that social media and the world sees me as. That's what they see now, but they don't see, the suffering and all the things that I've gone through, truly trying to face things on my own, patterns of decision making that are abhorrent to most people. But I think, Luan, where I really tapped into and really got connected with my creator is somewhere right after my first child was born. And the reason, so let me back up for just a moment. So I went to church as a kid, and um, I just kind of went through the motions, probably like what a lot of our children are doing right now. Why am I going to church every Sunday? Dad, I'm in mass every day. And so, but I did that as a child growing up. My dad, who was my best friend in the world, God rest his soul, he was that spiritual mentor to me. But as a kid, growing up, a teenager, all of those things, like I was just chasing opportunity, chasing a good time, all of those things. But I then realized later that my dad continuing to pray for me and having others pray for me, it was very impactful. But so what I observed from him, I would go to Bible studies with him, and I would observe how he could like just pick out when somebody was in pain and like pray for them and pour into them. And but again, I still lived for my own reasons and I strayed away and I made a lot of mistakes. But fast forward when my first son was born, I started having these feelings that, I've brought this child into the world. He can't make decisions on his own. And I just know I needed to sort of get around a group of people. Um, I didn't know what I was looking for. But that led me to a Baptist church in Cary, North Carolina. Uh, Met some really good friends there. I met my first project manager in my construction company there, and so was really getting loved on there. And then I ended up moving over to another Baptist church. But the thing about this is I was missing something. I was missing something that I didn't know that I needed, if that makes sense. Because where I was trying to fill the void, I was doing, a bunch of illegal things and really satisfying my own desires with alcohol and drugs and all the things and all of that. But this void was there. I had a successful business, I had a couple of them, but my relationships were really just suffering. Right. And so I knew that these other people that I was looking at, they looked like on the surface, they had great relationships and they were all kind of rooted around the church. And so I just started making a commitment and going to church and being around other believers, and then just deepening my relationship with Christ. Here's the truth: Christ always wants a relationship with us. So when we have these thoughts that, oh no, God can never love me because of all of these things I've done and all of these mistakes. No, He created you. He wants that relationship. And when I really understood that, I was able to forgive myself because I understood that the one true God sent his son to die on the cross for my sins. And so that was really the beginning of this. And it's been an incredible journey over the last, my son will be 15 years, but truly over the last about seven, um, faith has been a cornerstone in all things that I do: business, relationships, everything.
And I love that you carry your faith so openly, and I think that having faith is important because as business owner, but as a leader in the house, leader in the your community, whatever community you belong in, we are constantly charging into the unknown, and the unknown is a scary place, right? But you won't grow without going there, and to go there, sometimes you need a most of the time you need somebody there that doesn't judge you, doesn't get mad at you if you make a mistake, and just be there for you in the time of need, and basically just a friend that you can always turn to and talk to at any given point in time. And and my experience has I'm the same with you, right? My my grandparents were a devout Catholic, and so they live, and as Catholic, they live out exactly like how Jesus want them to live out. So I was raised around that, but like you, I wasn't really connected to a higher being. I wasn't really in tune with why do we need to pray? Why do we need quiet time? Why do we need alone time with God? And not until like later in my life, that's probably, I don't know, a good decade ago maybe. It's when I got my first DUI, and I got a little closer to God, and it's when I broke my leg, I got a little closer to God. And now and then from then it's just it's I wouldn't say because we always fear what tomorrow would bring, right? We always have that instinct fear into doing everything that is in the unknown. So with faith, what it's given me is I can use that fear and turn it into action. I can use that fear to ask God to turn it into courage. I can use that fear to ask simply ask that if I do my best, will you take care of the rest? What, however the rest is, and it's been life changing for me too, as it did for you. So the reason why I want to ask that question is, as you know, right now with a lot of uncertainty in the market, a lot of uncertainty in the business world, in the world in general, and I want the people to know that nothing is ever that bad if you have God with you.
Yes. Yeah, let me touch on that for a moment. Faith for me has been the foundation for confidence because if I'm living my life, and I'm nowhere close to perfect, but again, we don't have to be, right? We have a vehicle to ask for repentance and forgiveness. But faith has allowed me to be confident because if I'm living my life in accordance with my values, in accordance with my mission, my personal mission to help men and women grow their businesses, grow their families, become better leaders, become better community citizens, to become better people, to become followers of Christ. If I'm doing that on a daily basis, the one true God is not going to allow me to fail. Now, depending on what your definition of success is, right? But I continue to show up every single day with confidence because I do proclaim boldly how God has worked in my life. I'm living proof sitting on this Zoom call, having this podcast interview, that God uses people, even like me, to do extraordinary things through business coaching, through being able to give back in the community, through charitable contributions. But Luan, you know this. Your listeners may not necessarily proud of this, but I've been arrested 7 times. The truth is, God allowed me to make those mistakes for me to learn from them, to be able to now inspire others. And that's what I've done. Like, I am literally every single day, I live in my purpose, on purpose, for a purpose, rooted in faith.
Yeah, I want to expand on that a little bit. How do you define purpose? And how do
Yeah.
people find what is their purpose in life, and in business, in life, and in, personal and public? Uh, what what is purpose? How do you define purpose? And how do people find purpose?
Great question. Purpose defined for me is why I exist. And in business, why does a business exist? So, mission statement, purpose statement in business, right? You and I started working together, yeah, going on 4 years. And one of the very first things we did is we came up with a mission, like a mission statement for Deck Bros, right? And it was about creating memories, lasting memories for people. Like, Deck Bros exist to help people establish emotional connections and memories. That's your purpose of your business. So purpose for me is why I exist. And I want to say this because I just had this conversation yesterday with a client. And he goes, I don't know what my purpose is. I had it at a recent event, a young man, 24. I don't know why I'm here. I don't know what my purpose is. So it's a question that we all wrestle with at a certain point. I didn't know what my purpose was, true purpose, until probably 7, 8 years ago. And even then, it's been an evolution. As I sold my construction company and entered into business coaching and consulting, and then started Building Raving Fans, another business that you and I are aligned with. But going through all of that, my purpose is to pour into men and women, help them become better husbands, better fathers, better mothers, better wives, better brothers, better sisters, better business owners, better humans. That's what my purpose is. Now, how I live that out is through business coaching, mentorship, entrepreneurship. I own the building that I'm taking this interview from, which allows 5 other businesses to provide services to the community. Through coaching youth sports, I've got an incredible announcement we'll drop here soon, but like that is my purpose. And how I do it is just in those ways I just mentioned.
That's incredible, man, because you know, based on what I observe in people, and you can tell whether somebody is living out their purpose or somebody is in search of their purpose and somebody is just lost, right? So me, for example, I do I know what my purpose is? Maybe it's not crystallized yet, but I'm searching, actively searching for it by just doing things, right? And trying out new things. And there's other people out there that not actively searching for their purpose, lost. Um, and then, so wouldn't you agree that having a purpose provide clarity
Oh,
to your
100%.
life and your business?
100%. Absolutely. To your point, Luan, you can look at someone and know if they're living on purpose for a purpose. I'm a happy dude, man. Like you could, hopefully my life models that. When people look at me and they look at my body language and they look at how I interact with people, I hope and pray and do believe that people can look at me and be like, there's something different about that guy. That difference then invites them into a conversation. Hey man, why are you so happy? Hey man, like tell me about this. Awesome. It's an opportunity to now be able to share testimony. Because what you see today is not, let me bring you on this journey. Let me show you how I was delivered from all of that. Okay. You said something searching for purpose. I can see that in you, which is really cool. Really cool. Thriving business owner, husband, father. But we're searching. You're searching for more, right? I can see that. We talk about it. You and I talk daily, which I love. It's a blessing. But now you have an opportunity to, well, do I go do some business coaching? Do I do some consulting? Do I continue now to pour into an industry that's been a blessing to me? Like I'm speaking for you here. So you're searching a little bit, right? Which is awesome. God's placing those things on your heart for a reason. And it may bring you back to, I don't want to coach people. I don't want to consult people. I don't want to host a deck mastermind. I don't want to do that. I truly just want to be the best entrepreneur. But through that journey of self-discovery, you're going to find it.
Just want to summarize some of those points is purpose is important, and searching for purpose, going through that journey is even more important. Uh, because I'm gonna tell you what, when I start staying back, having a company like this, that wasn't in the plan. The plan was just make some extra money and go back to the casino when they open up, and the one thing led to another, and I'm here. The reason why I say that is because there's two forces that working, right? Is I'm here through some hard work, but also it's a pure luck. Pure chance that I could be. If COVID didn't happen, I probably would be some sort of financial uh, sector of business, economic per se. But the I believe that everybody is depend on the circumstances, go through different role, but will always end up with their destiny. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let me share
So
something with you really quickly. Really quickly. And this is what I shared with that young man recently at the event who shared that, oh, I want my business to be this and bigger and faster and all this. And I just said, young man, listen to me. We're all on our own unique individual journey. And as soon as you learn, as soon as I had to learn and appreciate that fact, better life is going to be. Because the truth is, and I shared this with him, you're at this level of business and you're wanting to be at, a 10 million, $15 million company. You're not worthy of owning and leading a 5, 10, $15 million company right now because there's certain areas of your life that you're not fulfilling to 100%. But just appreciate your journey because you will end up exactly where you're supposed to be.
that's a powerful statement right there. Yeah, sometimes we move too fast and things will drag us back to where we need to be. And somebody say something, and I don't know who it is. There's too many coaches saying the same shit, borrowing from the Bible. That now is all I don't know who the reason to say it, but they say business is like a big game of self-improvement, right? You wanna hire. Well, who are you for people to work for you? So the type of people you are will determine the type of employee that you have, and
Life is a mirror.
yeah,
We're a mirror.
and I think this I just heard this from Homoji about leadership is you have to be so potent as a leader to where a drop of your presence will change the water that you into that color instantly,
Powerful.
right? So what's that mean? Like like to me, it means that you have to hold a standard, you have to hold a line, and you have to enforce those standards and be willing to drag people, company, revenue, profit, and put it on the back of your shoulder and just take it across the finish line, whatever that finish line you set out to be. And to me, that's what a leader is to be a steady hand for people and to be that unwavering mentality when things get hard, when things get tough, when the tide turn a little bit and your people need you. And and you don't have to own the company to be a leader. Like I have a lot of leaders in my company, right? But they all lead in their own way, and the reason why I I train people to be the leader is because if you have a bunch of leaders, you don't have to lead quite as much.
That's good. That's good. I think that in terms of, leadership, um, the best leaders are the ones that when people look at them, people on their team, do they inherently know that person can be trusted? Not necessarily when everything is going great, but when shit is hitting the fan. Can that person be trusted to get us out of the muck and the mire? Right? You know, you can be a relational leader relating to your people. You don't necessarily have to be their best friend, but you need to believe in them, transfer that belief to those people. But can you be counted on? Again, when things are bad, like when people look at Luan, can they say, man, if things go south, do I trust him to take us across the finish line? And I would argue the answer to that question is yes. That's why you don't have a recruiting problem. That's why you don't have a subcontractor problem. That's why you don't have issues with closing sales because people believe in you, believe in the mission, believe in how you're leading them. And so, any of the listeners right now, like just watch what you're doing, right? Success leaves clues. Watch what Luan does. And I'm not just pumping him up because it's his podcast and I'm his business coach and he's a client of mine. Like, it's the truth. And it all goes back to where we started, which is faith. You have faith in what you're doing. You're living that out. People see that. It's attractive. People want something different, right? So you're leading by example, but you're also holding people to a standard. The truth is, we all need to be held accountable. We all want that. That's the biggest issue I see with leaders now is a lack of accountability for their people because they're like, if I hold them accountable to this standard, they're not going to like me. It's the wrong mindset. Person you're leading is looking at you going, will this guy hold me accountable? Right. But I just wanted to highlight that like success leaves clues. We talk about that often.
I think if we can frame accountability and I myself, we I make a bunch of mistakes in leading people, and I still do now in terms of leading, coaching people. But if we can frame accountability in terms of the highest love there is out there is accountability, right? And I make a lot of mistakes in the past, and people lost their job because of it, and people have exited the company voluntarily or involuntarily because of my inability to keep people accountable, right? The inability to keep people accountable. And I think that's huge because accountability um, works in and when you think about a team environment, and when you think about like building a team, building a culture, building something that will outlast strategy, um, is is the accountability, is the culture, is the emotional paycheck behind the financial paycheck, and and I see this now in my business to where the team double overnight, pretty much double overnight, year over year. There's some complexity in term of how to structure meaning team within a team, right? How to structure accountability within a team and how to make those accountability tasks depending on other people. So now for the machine to work, everybody has to be accountable, and frankly it's not easy. That's why people quit. That's why people drop out, and that's why people go crazy for having to tell people what their job is, right? And I'm not, like immune to that, but the if you are listening to this and you are trying to build a team and you try to lead your people, however that is, just get help, man. like that it's not a side weakness. Like I hire many people to help me work through problem that frankly sometimes I don't want to think about those problems. Sometimes I don't want to sit down and work out my problem, to define my problem, to work through some of this stuff because people think it's easy, but it's not. It's when you quantify the problem. Every time you quantify the problem out, it hurt a little bit more because you're not solving it, right? But so then we don't do anything at all, and then we start. And this is the funniest thing I see when we start blaming the condition
Mm.
of the market that we're in. We start blaming, gosh, people just don't want to do anything. Gosh, people just don't want to buy anything anymore.
Yep.
Gosh, the tariff. Gosh, my market is different. It's so tough out here. Gosh, there's so many competitors. So you start, and when that started happen, when you know when you kind of delay your problem solving in a business, in life in general, you pay a debt. You
Absolutely.
pay a debt to that problem, and it's still going to
Mm.
be on your mind. It's still going to be there. It's like a pile of paperwork that you need to dig through. It's still going to be there whether or not you solve it or not, right?
Yeah.
So um so then when the problem we have too much, then if you don't solve the sales problem, then all of a sudden you can't close. If you don't solve a production problem, all of a sudden you have cash flow issue. If you don't solve the marketing problem, all of a sudden, shit, leads are dry up. So that's all this type of problem, or you can frame it as opportunity.
Bingo.
So, so my mindset is, and I'm not sitting here. Let me rephrase that. I'm not sitting here that saying that the market doesn't have any impact on what we do. It certainly 100% does. I mean, that's a given. Like, I'm not sitting here and say it doesn't. It does.
But how do
But
you respond, right? You have an opportunity to respond to the market.
but here's the thing, and I want to say this too. But when everybody think the market is bad, that means there's group thing that's going on. That's when you can take control of the market. Now, you notice when it's good, everybody just kind of never do anything, right? Everybody is so. Oh, we're making good money, blah blah. The economy is good, things are rolling in. Leads are plenty. I don't need to worry about it. I don't need to worry about that. But nobody really rise up to the occasion because everybody is comfortable, right?
Yep.
But when the market is bad, there is an opportunity to dominate because now you can control the market. You can frame your marketing message. You can influence people into going with you. You can change the marketing budget. You can attack even more because everybody else is playing defense.
Right.
So it's all how you look at things. And I'm not like the market it does impact. We have to raise our price. But then also, we can sell more. by hiring more people, get more leads. So, and especially in construction where there's many vertical, many markets, many things you can get into. If you don't make money in one vertical, you don't have to stay in that vertical.
But you don't know if you're not making money unless you're tracking the data, right?
Right, right, right. So it's to me, all business is the same. You get the interest, you convert the interest, and you do the business, and you get paid. There's nothing different. It doesn't matter what time it is. It doesn't matter if Bill Clinton is president. It doesn't matter if Joe Biden is president. It doesn't matter if Donald Trump president. It doesn't matter if we have 100% tariff. It doesn't matter if we don't have no tariff. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about any of that shit. It don't matter. What matter is what you can control. You can control how much you market. You can control how you show up to appointment. You can control the client experience. You can control your book of business, and which we will talk about here. You can control your book of business. You can't control how much Facebook and Google is charging you, but you can control your creative. You can control your offers. You can control what you say to people. You can control the amount of talent that you bring in. You can control the amount of training that they receive. You can control like all these things, and then the market. That's only one force.
Exactly.
You have all
Yeah,
these
but that's the
forces.
one that and you did an amazing job there. I want to back up for just a moment about the accountability. Like the truth is like, how are you showing up? Right? How are you showing up? Like there's a lot of people that are out here going, again, my market's different. You don't understand my pricing and these competitors and all these things. It's all opportunities, man. How can I used to look at things like, okay, we got a new competitor. Cool. How can I actually now be better than that competitor? So I would look at those things and other people would be afraid, like, oh gosh, there's another competitor. We had a person literally come into our market and almost replicate our company's name. I'm like, okay, cool. I love that. Right. Now, how can I be better? So I'm looking at all that stuff and asking myself, how can I hold myself accountable? How can I show up different? How can I show up better? And the truth is, dude, like I started my first company in 2008. It's in the middle of the Great Recession, dude. Right. So everybody else is retracting, which is what you mentioned. Like people are, okay, running this and that and the other. I started a company in the home improvement industry with literally zero experience. When I say zero, like zero, like couldn't read a tape measure, zero experience, opportunities. And that's what I love about you is because when other people are zigging, you're zagging. Exact same thing I do. When other people in the slow season are like pulling back on marketing, you're an assassin, right? Again, man, I coach my athletes. Hey guys, here's the truth. We're gonna be different. We're gonna show up different. We're gonna prepare different. We're gonna play different. At the end of the day, guess what? We're gonna get different results. Guess what? People want to be different. They want to be on this team. So you're the same way. I'm the same way. I think that's why we have such alignment in strategy and the way we think. And there are just a lot of these people. And again, it goes back to leadership. How are you transferring the belief in what you're doing and your strategy to your team? There's a lot of people, and we see it in some of the groups that we're in. And, you guys don't understand. My market's different and all these things. Right. I can't hire the right people. Like they don't last, and I don't have leads and insert other excuse. By the way, excuses only mean something and matter to the person that creates it. I said that to you once before. I don't give a shit about your excuses. I don't. I don't make excuses. They don't mean anything. You got a retention problem? Okay, cool. That probably means that you're not actually hiring the right people, or you're not the leader worthy of having that A player, or you have no training, no development. And so again, like what I think is so cool is that when everybody else is sort of looking at, oh, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad, you, me, many others are like, oh, this is great. This is great. Because we're seeking out opportunities where everyone else is looking at the negativity. Because the truth is, if you think about it, I heard, I was listening to an audiobook, talked about this. I'm going to misquote this, but it's talking about positive and negative asymmetry. So, like when you give someone positive feedback, it could be great feedback, and you could give them negative feedback, and that negative feedback is going to just resonate and just overpower all the positive stuff, right? And there's a belief. And so contractors are out here saying my market's different. You don't understand. My pricing is this, the tariffs are this, price increases, all of this. That's all negative. So positive is like we could go create opportunity over here, but they've convinced themselves with all this negativity and it overshadows the positive, and they just find themselves in this spiral. So I just wanted to kind of, I know I kind of went on a little bit of a tangent there, but man, if you zig while everybody else is zagging, seek out opportunities while others are just saying there is none, you're going to be successful.
So I want to summarize things until up to this point is having faith, finding your purpose, having good leadership is important in this time, and having courage is important in this time. And oh, you might say, "Oh man, I thought you're gonna, teach me how to make money," and like, no, no, I don't want to listen to this bullshit. Sure, it's the money. Trust me, if you do all this stuff, then the strategy we're about to give you is gonna be even more impactful rather than just hearing it first, right? So, few things is that's one assumption that we have to make. Whatever business that you're in right now, there is one other guy in your market that completely murdered the market, smoking everybody right now, not 2020, right now. And everybody else is just kind of like, I can't get over the hump. People, you know why? Because that person capitalized on the market. So let me tell you a story. Uh, I received a letter from a dealership that in which I haven't been back for a while, and I'm sure these guys have a database between dealership or whatever. So they must have bought a list from Jessica, for Jessica SUV, and in that letters is the copy that I have written a month ago on tariff, word for word, bar for bars. And now the car industry is just now catching on to the wave. I'm already done with that. We already raised our price. It's already happened. But now the car industry is getting hit, and they are using that as a sales and marketing tactic. And and you might think, wow, isn't that kind of shitty? No, and I'll tell you why. If you are going to buy a deck, you want to pay 25,000 or you want to pay 27 and 5.
25.
Oh yeah, I want to pay 25. Cool, sorry. So that is, and the people who bought understood. And the people who are never gonna buy, it's polarizing, but it works. You know why it works? Because the current events is doing the price impression for you. The current event is doing the price impression for you. The current event is doing the selling for you. The current event is motivate people to move for you. So a simple nudge will get people to move. And we have one of the best months in April, almost $2 million. And and when the offer is so good, you move so many people to the line, the next month is going to be slow. but you already lock in these people. So now it's back to the same game. It's back to fighting another offer. But one of the things that you can do is use the market to your advantage. Everybody else is doing it. Everybody else is sending out letters, say price increase. And you can use that as an arbitrary deadline, which and you don't have to lie. I know that people are raising prices on you, so why wouldn't you tell that to the world and let people make that decision? They can say no, like they don't have to click on your ad, but I did that and we scaled that to multiple market and it worked in multiple market. It worked in your existing open lead. It worked for your existing client. So there's three funnel you can run. You can run one funnel to your existing client. You can run one funnel to all your open lead. And that who decline or say they go with another person, we just group them into one. And you can run ad to whoever is buying right now. So those three funnel you can run repeatedly saying that the tariff price increase. And I guarantee you people will move.
Or also, too, Luan, there's a fourth category there. That's your rehash, reactivation. Like, hey, reach out to the people you've already done business with.
Yeah, that's your existing client, right? Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
So,
it's amazing to me. We did it every year as well. We knew James Hardy was taking a price increase. Every year. We knew it was coming. So we got out in front of it, sent out letters, sent out handwritten letters, sent out emails, sent out the things and said, hey, look, this is coming.
yep. And then
And closed a lot of business.
when you run ad, people is gonna tell you is you a piece of shit, but I don't think so. I think I'm doing the market a favor. And when I run ad, you know what happened? I don't get all that leads. I don't get all that business. You know who they call me and they call two other that guys. So the whole market moved because I did something. I help out the industry and I help out the customer. So is it bad now if you think of it like that? The whole market moved. So that's one strategy. The second strategy, which is this is why I brought Clifton on here, is building your brand equity to intentional touch of gratitude to your existing client. And then I've been partnered with Clifton, I think, ever since he got his Building Raving Fan on, and I don't even know how many clients that we have onboarding with him now, but it's on a continuous basis. So Clifton, without further ado, I'll let you
Yeah.
kind of educate why it's important, and then I can kind of chime in my thought on it.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. It goes back to what I mentioned earlier about my athletes, about being different, about showing up different. And in business, if we do what everybody else is doing, we're going to get a lot of what everybody else is getting. Right. And so, at the heart of what we do, if we truly believe that we're serving people, helping them create those memories. I owned a construction company, so roofing, siding, windows, and doors, and we were beautifying homes, protecting homes. Those people are rewarding us with business. How can I, as the contractor, show that person how I truly cared about them? Deeply grateful for them making a decision because I was one of maybe 30 contractors they could have hired. And so we believe in intentional touches to express genuine appreciation and genuine gratitude. And the reason why I say genuine, I'm not sending things to people that have your logo on it. I'm not sending cheap koozies, things like that to people. I'm sending intentional things, genuine. They're genuine. And then the truth is, when I stay top of mind with my clients, what we help, like we help you do, they receive something. The law of reciprocity kicks in. They inherently, when they get something from Luan or any of our other clients, those recipients conspire to help you. What? Look at this. Look at this token of appreciation. How can I now help Luan? How can I know go help Chad and all the other customers that we serve? And so we do that with intention, right? Everything we do at Building Raving Fans is intentional. The reality is we leverage gratitude to help contractors and home service companies generate referrals, repeat business, and reviews on autopilot. And you've been a great supporter of ours, and we've had some really good successes, working together and all those kinds of things. But relationship marketing is kind of new to most people. And I'm not here to say we should replace digital marketing. Like this is something we can use to amplify. So I'll let you kind of chime in on that.
I have many thoughts on this, and I have observed what happened inside of my business, and I think I have a pretty good idea of how this work, and maybe even it work out better than you had intended to work out, right? So when you talk about it, you talk about repeats and referrals. Sure, that's one aspect of it. The second thing is that I see that's happening is you are buying grace, and which is you might not think it's important, right? But in the construction industry, where we quote unquote fuck up time to time, or maybe every time, like I say in my sales process, hey, we gotta fuck up every job. You don't know because we're professional at handling it, right? But that touch of relational equity, to build relational equity, to build grace is important because people will kind of give you not a pass, but kind of, give you the benefit of the doubt. Or maybe he's just running into some issue right now. I'll just give him general nudge. So, quote unquote, and this might sound bad on the podcast, but you are, by giving gratitude, by giving first, you are making your client to be that manager for you on site when you're not there, that manager to manage your product when even after long gone is installed, and you have a team of callback specialists that will let you know. Because sometimes, man, like I found out that if you don't stay top of mind, right, people just don't reach out. If for
Mm-mm.
it's like a small little issue, like a screw popping up or something, but if they don't reach out, but they still hold you accountable for that. Now they still hold you accountable. You still the
Mm.
person. The person. There's people that reach out 4 years later for some loose railing that happened a month after because they thought we wouldn't come back out. Right? Having that is, I don't know about you. I think brand is built in this moment of
Yes, yes.
is this moment of vulnerability is when you send out a gift or whatever. It's like, oh, by the way, can you go ahead and come take a look at this for me and kind of fix this for me, and that fixed the relationship. It turned a negative relationship into a positive one. So that's another aspect is brand consistency, right? It helped manage the brand. The third aspect is brand awareness. So when you talk about branding, people like to talk about these logo, these truck wrap, these things that really it doesn't mean anything if there's no execution behind it. Really doesn't mean nothing. And people sometimes they go buy these branding packages that cost them like 50 grand, 75 grand, or sometimes 100 grand with all the truck wrap and all there's little brochure and there's little leave behind packets and things like that. I think it's bullshit. I can refer you a bunch of people that can get you a logo for a few $100. a truck draft place that can design awesome truck draft for $2,000. I'm not saying it doesn't have its application, but there's gotta already be an execution behind it.
You talked about buying grace and uh, and we could riff on this topic forever. I want to be respectful of your time here. But what you said is, there's all of these moments in a client journey, especially in construction, where things are going to go wrong, right? But if we just we show up human, we drop a handwritten thank you card expressing gratitude for their decision to buy from you. When something doesn't go just perfect, they know you're human, but they know you care. And that's the important part, right? And then it's also that after the job is done, like, how do we continually stay top of mind with them and create those brand impressions, deposit into the relationship equity bank, all of those things working together, I think is has helped you continue to grow your business the way it's growing.
And here's another fun thing that we kind of seeing when we kind of tracking these things. All of a sudden neighbors start buying from you, right? All of a sudden jobs start showing up on the same street. All of a sudden the last name started looking the same. All of a sudden that all this stuff start, all people standing you, hey, my friend just bought a deck from you. And then you go back and it's a phone call into the business, right? So you know that it's a referral. So and so from work refer me to you. So and so from work refer me to you. So from work refer me to you. So all this, I call them, whisper. It's not loud. It's not like truck rap or anything like that, but it's what tie the brand together. It tie the brand impression. It's the right brand impression. It's not a billboard because anybody can see a billboard. Is you pretty much paying all your client to be the eyes and the ears and the mouthpiece for you, and what that does is it amplify the brand. So when
Mhm.
people are ready for the brand, your SEO can take over your Google ad, your Facebook ad, whatever else it is that you're doing, now can do a better job in converting these people over. So to me, it helps whatever digital marketing. And you know me, I'm big on digital marketing too. I
Yeah,
am 1,000% for digital marketing. Don't get rid of it because you need it to catch people, right?
sure.
So that's another thing that I see that is working with this is people talk, and you want to somehow, some way dominate the conversation when you're not there. That's all there is to it in branding. That's all there is to it. How can you influence people to talk positively about you when you're not there? And that's it. Because if I talk about it on Facebook or Google or whatever, I mean, it's kind of self-serving, right? But then when so and so get referred and they go on a Facebook group, hope my name show up again.
Mhm.
They driving around. Oh, there's another yard sign. There's there's a truck wrap, and when and my dad actually used them. So now there's it's unreasonable for me to not reach out to them.
The end of the day, it's all working, it's holistic, it's all working together to create brand evangelists, those people that are going out proactively talking about you, whispering, right? Back on this whiteboard out here, I'll kind of leave you with this. Our mindset is like, how can we take one customer, right? Work with one customer that then leads to many, right? We want to take one and we want to continue to pour into that person. So they refer this person, they do this. Again, a very holistic strategy because at the end of the day, if we create the brand evangelists, we create the raving fans. The truth is, we create customers for life, and it doesn't matter what's happening in the market. It doesn't matter what's happening to your prices. It doesn't matter about the tariffs. It doesn't matter about the president. It doesn't matter about any of that. because you've built business that people are conspiring to help you grow and win. So
Wrap this up. 5, 6 different point. Get faith. Find your purpose. Work on leadership. Use the market to your advantage. Work your book of business, and you will 100% come out on top in this market. And then I'll see you on the other side.
awesome. Thanks for having me, Luan.
All right, ma'am. I appreciate you being on. Talk to you soon. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. If you find this episode helpful or if it changed your life in a positive way in any manner, please share with another friend, tell another friend about this podcast. Again, thank you. Until next time.